As Halloween draws closer, let's look at some of the more underrated and iconic movies that have come out during this spooky holiday. Beware, some of these will send a chill down your spine that you have never felt before. Halloween Kills. In 1978, a small town named Haddonfield was forever marked by the shadow of evil. The shape of fear took form in Michael Myers, a relentless killer who struck without mercy. And though the night of terror seemed to end 40 years later, the nightmare was far from over. Welcome to Halloween Kills, the continuation of one of horror's most iconic stories. But this time, the terror is amplified, the screams are louder, and Michael Myers is more ruthless than ever. Halloween Kills takes place directly after the events of Halloween 2018, where Laurie Strode, her daughter Karen, and granddaughter Allison believe they've finally defeated the boogeyman. But little do they know, evil never dies. Fear spreads in Haddonfield like a virus. The town of Haddonfield rallies together, determined to put an end to his reign of terror once and for all. The boogeyman moves with cold precision, never rushing, never hesitating. Each kill is more brutal than the last, each life taken with a sense of inevitability. By the film's end, one thing is clear. This isn't just a man, this a symbol of unrelenting fear, an unstoppable force that won't rest until every last light in Haddonfield is snuffed out. In Halloween Kills, evil doesn't die. It grows, it consumes, and it leaves us all with a haunting question. How do you escape the inescapable? Trick or treat. Every Halloween, something ancient. A night when the line between the living and the dead blurs. It's a night of dark traditions, where those who break the rules pay the ultimate price. The film weaves together 5 twisted tales, each one connected by the spirit of Halloween and a mysterious silent figure. Sam, a small child in a burlap mask. Sam watches, he waits, and when the rules are broken, he punishes. He might look innocent, but he's actually the enigmatic spirit of Halloween itself. His presence alone is a reminder that Halloween is not a night to be trifled with, and when you break its sacred traditions, you invite something far worse than tricks or treats. Each story begins innocently enough, but as the night deepens, so too does the horror. It's as if the town itself is under a curse, where no one is safe from the blood-soaked consequences of their actions. Here, the unspoken rules of Halloween, so often forgotten, are brutally enforced. Don't blow out your jack-o'-lantern, don't steal candy, and whatever you do, don't mock the dead. Halloween may seem like a night of innocent fun, but it's really a night where ancient forces demand respect. So remember, Sam is watching. Scream 5. The nightmare returns to the sleepy town of Woodsboro. But this time, the rules have changed. Ghostface is back, deadlier than ever. But this time, it's not just about horror movie cliches. There's a new kind of terror in town. Our legacy characters, Sidney, Gale, and Dewey, have lived this nightmare before. But now, they're drawn back into the blood-soaked chaos as a new group of teenagers becomes the target. Just like in the first Scream, the lines between friend and foe blur. Every character is a suspect, and everyone is a potential victim. No one is untouchable, not even the beloved characters who've survived for decades. Ghostface may change faces, but the terror remains the same. A relentless force of chaos that stalks the streets of Woodsboro, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But the beauty of Scream has always been its unpredictability. You think you know who the killer is, but every twist pulls the rug from beneath your feet, leading you down a dark path where nothing is what it seems. Welcome back to Woodsboro, where the past never stays buried, and Ghostface is always one step ahead. The Purge. Imagine a world where, for one night, all crime is legal. No law, no order, just chaos. In The Purge, 2013, that world becomes a reality. One night a year, society gives in to its darkest impulses, and no one is safe.
Shoot it, Mary, shoot it!
The Purge takes place in a near-future America, where there's a new law. For 12 hours, all emergency services are suspended, and the streets become a hunting ground for those looking to release their rage. The Sandins seek refuge behind the safety of their fortress-like home. But even behind locked doors, no one is truly safe during the Purge. But The Purge isn't just about violence. It's about the fear that anyone you trust could be waiting to do something horrible to you. The masked invaders stalking the Sandins aren't just criminals. They're the embodiment of the Purge itself. They represent the terrifying idea that anyone, even your next-door neighbor, could be waiting for this night to unleash their deepest, darkest desires. The Sandins, once safe in their privilege, are forced to confront the true horror of the Purge, that no one is untouchable. No amount of wealth, security, or morality can protect you when violence becomes the law of the land. When the sirens stop, the world goes back to normal, but no one who survives the Purge is ever the same. It. Chapter 1. Every 27 years, a town is haunted by an ancient evil that feeds on fear. In 2017, It, Chapter 1 brought that evil back to life, and its name is Pennywise. Set in the small town of Derry, Maine, the film tells the story of 7 children, known as the Losers Club, who must face an unimaginable evil lurking beneath their town. Pennywise, the ancient creature that takes the form of a sadistic clown, preys on the town's children, feasting on their deepest fears. Pennywise isn't just a monster, he's fear personified. In It, Chapter 1, the horror comes from the unknown, the idea that your worst nightmares are just waiting to be unleashed. In the end, it's not Pennywise's twisted smile or bloodthirsty hunger that defines It. Chapter 1, it's the strength of the losers. Their bravery in the face of unspeakable horror. They confront not just the clown, but the darkness within themselves, proving that even the most terrifying evil can be defeated when you refuse to give in to fear. But Pennywise isn't gone for good. He's only waiting for fear to rise again. Child's Play. In 1988, Child's Play introduced the world to a new kind of terror.
You slut! Did you fuck with me?
One that came in the form of a seemingly innocent children's toy. But this isn't just any doll. This is Chucky, and he's far more than meets the eye. Using dark magic, Charles Lee Ray, known as the Lakeshore Strangler, cheats death by trapping his soul inside the doll. Chucky is born, and soon enough, the horror begins. He appears harmless, but beneath that plastic smile is a deranged killer waiting for the right moment to strike. Chucky's mix of dark humor and violent rage makes him one of horror's most iconic villains. He's not just a doll, he's a predator, hiding in plain sight, ready to kill anyone who gets in his way. Chucky is relentless, cunning, and above all, unpredictable. He isn't just out for revenge, he's trying to transfer his soul into a human body, and Andy is his chosen vessel. But Child's Play isn't just about gore, it's about fear. The fear that something seemingly harmless could turn deadly in an instant. The fear of being trapped with a monster no one believes is real, and the fear of a killer hiding behind a plastic smile. In Child's Play, the terror is small, but it's unstoppable.
Give me the power, I beg of you!
The Addams Family. In 1991, the Addams Family crawled onto the big screen, bringing with it a delightful mix of the macabre and the bizarre. They're creepy, they're kooky, and altogether spooky, but there's more to the Addams Family than meets the eye. They revel in darkness, they find joy in the grim, and they're completely unapologetic about it. From the outside, their world may seem strange, but for the Addamses, it's just another normal day. It's a family movie, a family that takes pride in their peculiarities. Whether it's Wednesday's deadpan humor or Uncle Fester's strange electricity-fueled talents, the Addamses celebrate the odd and the eerie with open arms. The plot revolves around Uncle Fester's return after a long disappearance. But is he really the long-lost Fester, or a con man looking to steal the family fortune? As the Addamses navigate this mystery, they remind us that no matter how strange things get, they always stick together. With its dark humor, quirky characters, and unforgettable performances, The Addams Family is more than just a comedy. It's a celebration of the delightfully eerie. It's a reminder that sometimes being strange is the best way to be. They may be creepy, they may be kooky, but they're a family like no other, and in their world, the strange is always the norm. Scary stories to tell in the dark. Some stories aren't meant to be told. In 2019, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark took the terrifying tales from your childhood and brought them to life. But these aren't just stories anymore. They're nightmares written in blood. A group of teenagers in 1968 stumble upon a cursed book in an abandoned mansion. What they don't realize is that the stories inside side aren't just scary, they're deadly. As the book writes new stories in real time, the kids discover that they are the characters in these horrifying tales. From grotesque monsters to chilling legends, each story brings a different nightmare to life, and there's no escape once the pages turn. These creatures aren't just figments of the imagination, they're pulled straight from the darkest corners of folklore. From Harold the Vengeful Scarecrow to the Pale Lady with her unsettling grin, each monster is brought to life in grotesque detail, leaving no place to hide from the horrors lurking in the dark. Each story is a death sentence, unfolding exactly as written, no matter how desperately they try to change their fate.
No. Stella.
And as each story reaches its climax, one thing becomes clear. No matter where you run, the stories will find you. Goosebumps 2. Haunted Halloween. In 2018, Goosebumps 2. Haunted Halloween took us back into the world of R.L. Stine's classic monsters. But this time, the horror isn't just on the page, it's coming to life, and Halloween will never be the same. Haunted Halloween follows two friends, Sunny and Sam, who stumble upon a strange unpublished Goosebumps manuscript. What they don't realize is that this book isn't just any story, it's a trap waiting to be unleashed. Slappy, the iconic villain from the original Goosebumps series, is back with a vengeance. This time, he's not content with being just a puppet. He has plans to turn Halloween into a night of terror by bringing every decoration, every monster, and every nightmare to life. What starts as harmless Halloween fun quickly spirals into chaos as Slappy's magic turns an entire town into his personal horror show. Slappy's sinister charm is at the center of the chaos. Voiced by Mick Wingert, Slappy's evil plan isn't just scary, it's mischievous, filled with a twisted sense of humor that keeps the tone light.
I love a good holiday sale.
Even as the monsters close in. In Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, the lines between reality and fiction blur as the Goosebumps world comes to life in the most unexpected ways. Lisa Frankenstein. Lisa Frankenstein is a dark, quirky horror comedy that blends nostalgia with a modern edge. The film reimagines the classic Frankenstein story with a romantic twist and an 80s high school setting. The year is 1989, and Lisa Swallows is a high school senior in a new town. She's studious and shy, preferring to spend her time sewing, writing poetry, and watching old movies rather than partying or going to football games. If that weren't enough to make her an outcast, she had to leave her hometown because her mother was murdered by an axe-wielding intruder, and her father Dale thought that quickly remarrying and moving to a new place would be best. One day, Lisa decides to go to a party, but someone spiked her drink, and now she's stumbling across the town until she reaches the graveyard. She talks to a dead boy who's there all the time, but this time she sees something weird. He somehow is awake, and this has nothing to do with her drink. This is real.
Where a disturbed person like you belongs.
As the story goes on, Lisa and the creature start falling for each other, but things start getting weird for them both, and they must navigate their new world as it has already turned upside down. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and give us a like if you want to watch more videos like this one.